Hello, it's Jack again. Um, I just got done with the last video, but I've been thinking about the next video, which will be this one. Um, so this one's going to be about lust or sexual attraction because modern psychology or neuroscience and all that, it wants to say a lot of stuff, but it rejects a lot of other stuff like self-control or a better way to perceive things. So we'll get into that. And this is something I've worked on with myself, and I think it helps. So it's not uh, that sexual attraction is bad. It's more that it distracts from the proper way to view things. And it doesn't matter what you believe. This is just the way things work. Uh, just the way the human mind works. And it's natural. So, you can be lustful. You can be sexually attracted to somebody. You can see breasts or, a man's physique and be like, that's nice. Or you could see maybe perhaps that that perception and interpretation has led you astray so many times and got you hurt. And uh, that's what I've come to realize. But beyond that, there is another way to view things that is much better. Like who a person is and whether you are attracted to their personality or your idea of the best person that you want, like your ideals, um like you know somebody that you'd want to have children with or marry, uh connect with, where you can sit there in a moment and just appreciate each other, and that can go into the bedroom. um and that makes it where rather than focusing on the pleasure or the aesthetics and the things that you've built up, your fetishes, you replace it with just a connection. People call it making love, and it basically is. It's connecting and experiencing that moment in a thematic sense where you're experiencing your own story and you love it, and you're not distracting from that, focusing on things so intently to maintain that level of pleasure that you don't get to experience that. And it's a very good experience. I've never experienced it myself. I've experienced lust. I've experienced many fetishes. And, it wasn't right of me to be that way. It, it definitely hurt some women in my life. And, there ain't no excuse for it, for the things I've done. Um, and I'm not going to make one. I was a shitty person, like I said. I wasn't a very good person. I, starting really young, around 9 years old, me and my friends, we got into porn. A lot of my friends were older, like 15, 16. I hung around older men that were like 18, even 30, some 40, drinking, smoking weed. I started smoking cigarettes really young. I think I started around 8, and I've been smoking for 20 years now. But with porn, I started really young, and there's a lot of embarrassing stories, but uh, I let that get the better of me. And I built up fetishes and they wouldn't satisfy. I just kept going and going. And, the internet is strewn with all kinds of unique, taboo, messed up stuff that you eventually have to go into because, like, that porn star doesn't really mean much. A normal sexual experience, doesn't mean too much. Um, Connected. It doesn't mean much if you operate off of that. And people will tell you it's natural, that it's instinctual, that, nothing's wrong with you. And you can accept that, and, that's at your own detriment because there is a more proper way to view things. And it is natural to view things that way rather than the way we do, in large. Um, I see how dangerous this is. It is very dangerous because when society collapses, everything's going to get bad. And we've seen it throughout history. Uh, we've seen all this throughout history. Uh, it's just the natural degradation of the human mind away from seeing things the most natural way that you should, as a superior mind over your own self. And even animals do this stuff. They'll lust and do things that isn't very natural, but if you put them into a natural situation, they will do the natural thing. And they'll adapt into a natural habitat. So I'm trying to just show people that there is a more natural, more healthy, more prosperous, even you could call it that, a more loving way, a more wholesome, more um, fulfilling. Fulfilling is a big one because that other stuff, it's very empty. It just keeps going and it doesn't get better. But this, it actually, it it fulfills you. Even if you're masturbating, even if you're making love or, just having sex, even with a stranger. Now, if you try it with a stranger, you might not like the connection that you're building and reject seeing things that way and just, focus on the pleasure and all that. You know, that's your right. You can do that. But if you focused on the connection of what you're really doing, you're not going to be very happy because everybody wants more. They want that dream, that connection. They want they want something that fulfills them. And the fact that they're not getting it is the reason that I'd say that they're resorting to such things, is because they aren't getting the fulfillment in life that they really want. And they don't know the right message, the right way to see things. And it's a foreign concept to them with the way the world portrays everything, the way the world pushes things onto them as like, oh, this is good, this is natural. It's okay to fetishize. You're releasing your inner desires. But is that really what people desire? Because you go around, you look at porn, look how terrible some of that stuff is. I've been through all of it. I've masturbated to a lot of messed up stuff, um, and it took away from me things that if I didn't let it, life would have been much better. So, I'm not telling somebody that you're wrong or you're right. I'm just telling you there's two sides to every story. And there's different ways to do stuff that if you try, it's gonna just make things much better for you. It's gonna make life much better. It's gonna do things that it really fulfills your inner being that nothing else really can. Um, and you could wait and ignore and not do anything about it. You could wait till you're 60 years old to regret it. You could wait as long as you want, and maybe you'll never come to regret it. But the way I see it, we should be scared of who we are shaping ourselves into, who we're growing into, and you know that's what initiated change in me. I had to feel a lot of stuff about a lot of stuff. I'm not just talking random stuff here. I've thought very deeply about certain things in life, and I've had to reshape my mind. I've had to literally go in, feel crazy. I've had to do a lot of stuff that was very hard, but I didn't understand the direction I was trying to go. I didn't know the right way. Nobody told me. I had to figure it out on my own, and it was tragic. Uh, I just don't want people to have to go through that. I don't want to see somebody so empty, alone, broken, waking up in the saddest way possible. I want to be there to tell you that there is a better way to view reality, your life, other people, and there's nothing wrong with having fallen into all these traps. That, you know, there's nothing wrong with you, except that should we not initiate that change, then the problem's only going to get worse. It's going to become cyclical, and it's going to keep evolving, and eventually you're not going to recognize yourself. And maybe that's right now. Maybe you don't recognize yourself, but you never changed. You're still the same person that you used to be when you were a kid. Just a lot of stuff happened, and a lot of things hurt you, and you closed up a lot of stuff, got rid of a lot of stuff, and resorted to a lot of stuff. And that's how I feel about myself. Um, I couldn't hold it against anybody else, no matter how bad off they are, or how good off they are, how much better they are than I was, or how much worse they were. It's not even about that. It's about if you reach that next level and you initiate that change, it doesn't matter what else there was. It doesn't matter what comes out, because that's not you. That's who you let yourself become, and then you recognized it and you stamped it out before it got too bad. That that you found the way forward, and whether that's through me or you just sitting back and realizing some things on your own, you know, it's I don't I don't have a way to make somebody see something. I don't have a way to make them realize things. It's about them sitting there piecing things together, adding things up, and then realizing, like, wow, there is a different way. And it is better. And it will help. And it will be more fulfilling. And, all those things that you might not have ever thought about. And I'm just here to remind you of who you are, who you were, who you can be. So That's all there is to it. You don't have to do anything. But, I'd like to see something else.